Welcome back. In our last video tutorial, you have learned how to apply an effect over the master audio signal and how to mix, control, and set each input, output, and surround and control option from the effect window. We also have learned more about the first two effects available, pipe and multicomb, and tested each of its settings individually. In the second effect video, we are going to do the same for the two of the remaining effects, multitap and echo. In order to maintain the same audio reference from our last video, I am selecting the same acoustic piano preset as before. Now, back on the effect window, I'm changing the selected multicomb effect and choose Multitap. The audio changes being caused by this multitap effect are already perceptible. Multitap works just like a simple delay unit with 3 taps. The input signal can be delayed and transferred to the output according to the time set for the tap, which can vary from 1 sample to 10 seconds. This, in fact, triples the transmitted signal. The multitap effect requires more CPU power than multicomb, as it offers longer delay times and more modulation options. Let's check out some of its parameters. In the master section, you can find the same bit switch, where you can select whether the time control value should be indicated in seconds or in beats, as in every other effect seen so far. Same thing happens for the master time control, which determines the maximum delay of the 3 taps, and the master low-pass control, which determines the cutoff frequency of the low-pass filter which the feedback signal runs through. In the tap section, you can set the time, control sensitivity, volume, panoramic location, and feedback for the 3 taps available on the multitap effect. To better understand how it works, be sure to have your surround display turned on. The multitap effect is composed by 3 different delay signals, distributed throughout our full surround axis. The first step is the only one who actually has a feedback control option. This happens because the first tap is actually the one feeding the second and third taps. So, whenever you adjust the feedback control on the first tap, you are in fact adjusting the feedback for the signal being sent to the other 2 taps, and essentially the feedback for the whole effect. With the pan option, you can adjust the position of each tap on the surround display. Still, if you want them to be more spread out, simply set the desired position on the surround panel by moving the positioning and spread knobs. I am setting the first tap to the front position, and our second and third tap to the left and right positions. This way, we can distinguish each tap and really understand what is going on here. The time control on each tap determines the delay of each respective tap in % of the value selected in the time control in the master section. I have already mentioned about this on our last video tutorial, but I am setting it to different percentage and pushing each time and feedback so you can fully experience the multitap effect. As you can see, the grand piano key I just pressed is repeating and modulating on each tap. By setting different volumes and panoramic, you can really experience an amazing result. Let's now try and set the time control to be operated by a MIDI device on the Perform window. As you can see, these changes in values can be altered in real time by a MIDI controller, producing very interesting audio results. Let's now move on to the echo effect. The echo effect type manages classic echo effects. The input signal can be delayed in one individual path, or in up to 3 signal paths, just like in the multitap effect. This means the signal for each active delay path runs through a low-pass, high-pass, and all-pass filters, which settings can be set in the different ways for each signal path. The 3 pen controls enable the 3 echo paths to be separated and distributed throughout the surround panel, and the gain control enables for them to have distinguishable volume levels. The echo effect manipulation here is particularly interesting. The adjacent signal is directly routed to the output, but at the same time, it is sent back to the input of the respective signal path with its feedback control option. These signals can be filtered several times in order to produce very unusual and interesting results. Plus, you can set the all-pass filter to produce phase shifts between delays. You can activate or deactivate each of these filters by pressing this yellow dot located next to each filter option. Also, every one of these low, high, and all-pass filter values can be altered directly from your MIDI controller by assigning each of them with a different macro control with the right click of your mouse and setting each control button on the Perform window as seen before. As you can see, multitap and echo are very distinctive effects that are actually simple to understand and operate, and with which you can achieve major audio results. In our next video, we are going to take a closer look to the remaining and more complex effects on Absinthe 5, resonators, and the etherizer, which is really a new groundbreaking effect that processes the sound based on a granular delay. Sounds interesting? Well then, stay tuned to learn more about these effects.